Here's a quick video of just some of the things that you can do and places you can see whenever you come to Edinburgh. One of the first things I would definitely say to do is for sunrise, head up to the top of Arthur's Seat, which is, well, that's the top over there, and because then you can get the sunrise. Absolutely worth it. If not for the sunrise, it's for the view all over Edinburgh that you get. So once you've been to the top of Arthur's Seat and you've seen the sunrise, which in winter time can be from as late as 9 o'clock and in summertime as early as 4 o'clock in the morning. After you've seen that and you've taken your panoramic sunrise image, it's time to head off into town and we're going to check out the west side of Edinburgh City Centre. So in the West End is a giant cathedral called Mary's or St Mary's Cathedral, and it is huge. You can just walk in. One of the things about in Scotland is that nobody really goes to church that much, so whenever you go in here it's usually empty, but my goodness, it is a very striking building. Definitely worth going in. You don't have to pay or anything, you can give a donation, they like a donation, but just go in. So if you want anywhere that's nice and quiet, this is a place to come. Wow. Another cool place if you're coming to the west end of the centre and it's the end of the day is going into this place, Indigo Yard. Pretty cool bar in there, and you've also got Pizza Express just next door if you want to get some food. Well, actually Indigo Yard does food as well. They're both good. The West End is connected to the main street of Princes Street via Shanwick Place, which at the moment is just full of tramworks. But at the end of Shanwick Place there's a great little pub called the Gilly Doo, and in here is a really cool place, very old-fashioned Scottish-y looking, and again, just walk in, have a beer or have a meal. At the end of Princes Street, where Lothian Road meets Princes Street and the West End, you've got a great view of Edinburgh Castle, which looks up like this. We've also got St John's Church there as well. You can just walk in, have a little look, have a little chill out, especially from the noise of Princes Street. Now, Edinburgh's got three main parks. One is this, which is Princes Street Gardens. The other one is the Meadows, which is just a huge bit, a little bit further out. And then there's the park, which is all around Arthur's Seat, Holyrood Park it's known. Anyway, if you come to Edinburgh you need a pee, at the west end of Princes Street Gardens there's public toilets if you need to go there. In the summertime Princes Street Gardens is really awesome for just coming along, sitting down, chilling, get a little bit of sunshine and getting a view of the castle. During the summer there's also loads of festival stuff and stuff going on. A lot of people, you'll just see this place filled with people just lying down and relaxing all day, every day during the summertime. But what a great view you get of the castle here. Absolute. If you're needing to make any postcard photos of Edinburgh, this is where you get it from. Because that's the shot of the castle everyone wants. And more specifically, it's the shot of the castle with the famous fountain in the foreground as well. So this is the fountain there, and that's the castle. So the kind of shot you want to get, something kind of like that. Usually. Edinburgh's got three main streets. The first one is George Street, which is a bit more of your higher end shops. The other street is Princes Street, which is more your high street shopping. Then you've got the High Street, or also known as the Royal Mile. Good place if you want to try out some Spanish food is definitely Café Andaluz over there, where you get lots of tapas. Not exactly the cheapest, but you can get a pre-theatre meal deal, which is like 3 courses each for about £15. If you're needing to get money out or go to the bank, then George Street is definitely where you'd go. You've got American Express over there, you've got Barclays over there, and you've got National West over there. During the summertime, the assembly rooms is the place to be. There's loads of stuff going on here of theatre and festival and comedy and just everything going on. So this is where you probably hang out quite a bit, and it'll look very different from what it looks like just now. The main road that connects the George Street, Princes Street and the Royal Mile is known as Hanover Street, and it goes from here all the way up the mound up to the Royal Mile. The Royal Mile is a little bit higher up than the other streets. While on Hanover Street you've got to try out BB's Cake Shop. Cake boot, wherever it is. Oh, awesome cakes, awesome cakes. At the junction of Princes Street and Hanover Street, you've got the Scottish National Art Museum, which is pretty darn cool to go in. Again, free, just walk in, and you've got buses coming from every direction. However, surprisingly, you don't go in via the front door. No, that would be too obvious. You go in through the side door, which is a bit round here, in front of the nice kind of big area they've got, where you'll always find a piper doing some piping. Case in point. So the entrance for the free admission is actually just out from the court of the area at the National Gallery. So this is what it looks like. Seriously big pictures. So there's a gallery shop and some food if you want to get, or there's a full-on restaurant down here if you want to get some food at the end of your little time of being lost in here. And automatic doors which stop whenever you walk into them, thanks. But whenever you come out at the garden area, which obviously that won't be there whenever you come here. But let's go up to the Scots Monument and let's climb it because you can go up it, which is a giant monument made for a guy who wrote poetry. So this is what you climb up. Okay, £3 to get in, and then you've got a lot of stairs to climb up, and it gets pretty tight. That's the first set of steps that you climb up, and if you think they're squeezed, you should see how difficult they are whenever you go further up and it's more busy with tourists. But at this first level, you get a good view of the castle in the sunset, silhouette of the castle, and a bit of Princes Street shopping area, but also you can go right to the top there. Got to find the way to get up there though. So the next bit, if you want to go up even higher, is on the south. It's tiny! You have to be a tiny person. If you're fat and big, don't even try. If you're a small Asian, Japanese person, no problem. But you're going to get cozy with some people while you're going up there. Seems like there's still one more bit to go. However, I can hear people coming down. So I'll let them come down first before I try and make it up. Without a doubt, you will meet a lot of people on your way up the Scots Monument, and you will end up hugging them as well. Great view over to Arthur's Seat from here as well. That's the big hill over there. At the far east end of the Princes Street, you've got a road called Waterloo Place, or Carlton Road, and there's an old cemetery in here. Now this cemetery, I wouldn't really advise going in too much, or certainly not late at night, but this is where the Scottish national poet, another one, not Sir Walter Scott, but Robert Burns, his burial tomb is in here, and it's kind of cool. But if you're definitely into your history of Scottish old dead people, and this is where most of them are going to have at least a tombstone or be buried. That one, I don't know who that's for. I think it's for a bunch of people, but they certainly like to show off, don't they? However, this is the tomb for Robert Burns. Don't go near it too much. It's erected by his widow and 12 children. Good on you. Now it's pronounced Carlton Hill, not Carrollton or Carlton. Carlton. If you're wanting to get a time-lapse shot of sunset over Edinburgh, this is the place to come to, because if the clouds don't come in, you get an amazing sunset. Unfortunately, the clouds have just come in. But here you get to look right down the main streets and you see Edinburgh lighting up. And for any of you computer geeks out there, down there, that is Rockstar North, where they make Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, stuff like that. Also, it's a fantastic place to get a view of the fireworks whenever they have fireworks here. So at the end of the festival, the start of the festival, New Year time, great place to be. There's also a pile of things up at Carlton Hill, which I can't remember what they stand for, but that is a timing beacon for something out at sea, and that, which looks like a Colosseum, not Colosseum, something, is something else quite important. I would say read, there's loads of things around here for you to read and get the information about, so just come up, nosy around, read the stuff, learn some stuff, more than what I did. Now a very cool place to go for a drink or listening to some music later on in the evening in Edinburgh is in the Voodoo Rooms there, which is above the Royal Cafe, or the Cafe Royal Buffet. This is on West Register Street, and it's upstairs, and it's pretty cool, and the bar staff in there are always cooler than you. No matter how cool you are, the bar staff in there definitely cooler than you. On the east end of Queen Street, you've got another kind of lovely public park which you can go and just chill out or get your caffeine buzz of coffee, and you've also got Harvey Nicks if you want to do some expensive shopping. Also regularly there's some cool kind of photo arty stuff going on, so if you have a look, it's like super macro shots of stuff, feathers, really small stuff, bugs, probably what I sneeze out. Just generally cool stuff to just amuse yourself while you're here. At the east end of Rose Street, you've got a famous shop called Jenner's, which is the oldest department store ever, and it's massive, and you can easily get yourself lost in there for a day or maybe two. All the stuff in there is quite expensive though, I think. Jamie Oliver's also got a restaurant on Rose Street, however it's pretty expensive and you don't get much. Another good place to come along, which is near the Edinburgh Parliament, or the Scottish Parliament, is Our Dynamic Earth, which is a cool building, but also all about earthy stuff. Adult prices are around about 11 or 12 pounds, and children prices around about 8 or about 7 or 8 pounds if you're a child. It takes about 2 hours to go round, and it's really good for knowing all about how the earth evolved, and geography and volcanoes and dinosaurs and stuff. So check that out if you want to spend a good 2 hours. If it's raining in Edinburgh, great place to head into with kids. Then you've got the Scottish Parliament, which is a massive building which they built at the bottom of the Royal Mile, which looks like this. Caused huge controversy whenever it was first built because of its design and stuff like that, and because of how much it cost. It's meant to be 40 million, ended up being 400 million. Very expensive building. It's open to the public, you can go in. However, some days it is closed, so you need to check. There's usually a billboard out at the front, like just now. It's saying Scottish Parliament is closed to the public today, so just double check that, and then you can go in and you can get guided tours as well. I think you need to book them beforehand, so just double check on the Edinburgh Scottish Parliament building website, wherever that is. At the bottom of the Royal Mile you've got Holyrood House, which is one of the Queen's houses. You can get a ticket which for an adult is around about £11, for children again around about 8 or 6, 7, 8 pounds. And what you can do is you get a ticket, you can go into Holyrood Palace, and there's about 14 rooms which you can wander around, have a look, see what the Queen looks like, what she does. There's also the Queen's Gallery in there, in that building there, which is kind of a room with pictures of the Queen. Then outside Edinburgh Parliament and near Holyrood House, or Holyrood Palace, is Holyrood Park, which is part of the Parliament, but also contains that, which is Arthur's Seat, which is this giant mountain in the middle of Edinburgh. So if you want to do any hill climbing, rock climbing, or just get an awesome view over Edinburgh, climb up that and you can get a great view anytime during the day. The road that goes right around Arthur's Seat, the mountain, is almost exactly 5 kilometres long. However, it's not an easy 5 kilometres because you've got to go up, or you go close up the hill. You don't go right up the hill, that's a different walk, but you can go all the way around it, and it's about 5 kilometres, and it should take you, if you're jogging, about half an hour or an hour if you're walking. Nice thing to do, great views when you get all the way around. And if you walk to the top, even better. At the far east end of the Holyrood Park, or the loop around Arthur's Seat, is you've got St Margaret's Loch, which is a little pond, but there's loads of swans here which you can always come along and feed. Oh, you don't like that GoPro? It's always a nice way to spend a little bit of time feeding some swans. You also get a fantastic view looking up to the top of Arthur's Seat, and also St Margaret's Chapel, which is a little kind of ruin halfway up the hill there, which is quite easy to walk up to. You can either go up a path which is up there, or you can walk along the actual ground at the side. And again, from that view, great view over Edinburgh. And even from just doing that little walk, I'm sure you'll agree that the view is absolutely worth it. You get to see all over the east side of Edinburgh, from Calton Hill, Edinburgh Castle, and a great view right up to the top of Arthur's Seat. Now this is what I think is so cool about Edinburgh, that without even being 50, 60 metres away from a road, you can get a view which could easily be mistaken for being right in the middle of a Scottish glen. And just like, look at that. That is such a beautiful sight to come and see. And like almost to the point where you just don't see anything else. Maybe a couple of buildings over there. But yeah, if you want to see some Scottish hills, a Scottish glen, a Scottish valley, and you don't really want to go too far out of Edinburgh, just go to Arthur's Seat. So cool! And if you walk along the edge of the crags, which is the bit just in front of the Parliament, then you get this amazing view all over Edinburgh, where you can see the Our Dynamic Earth building, the Edinburgh Parliament, over to Edinburgh Castle, and pretty much everything in between. And on the other side you get that view, which is over to Arthur's Seat, which again, just from every direction, every angle, just looks fantastic. This area behind me is known as Bristow Square, and during the festival time, the Edinburgh festival time, which is around about August, this is usually absolutely mobbed. It's got like a bar there, it's got a giant inflatable cow which is the stage, and it's surrounded by the Edinburgh University Students' Union of Potter Row and Teviot. So you can either come here and just chill out and watch the skateboarders going on, or there's usually some homeless people, or you can just sit and just have a nice relaxing time here watching people falling off stuff. Now, if you're not from Scotland and you're just visiting, then you've got to have our native drink, Iron Brew. It's considered to be phenomenal in Scotland, and it's just drunk everywhere. So if you want to look like not like a tourist, then have a can of this. Tastes great, everyone loves it, it's really good, very Scottish. And the other park is the Meadows, which is this place here. Huge park, huge area. I think it's about another 5-kilometre jog all the way around this. Great place, lots of barbecues, cricket, all that kind of stuff going on, lots of jogging as well going on in the Meadows. Great place, just come chill out. There's also parks and tennis courts at the East End as well. So if you've got kids and you need them to play around or use up some energy, then the East End of the Meadows is where there's a really cool park with lots of play stuff on it. Swings, roundabouts, stones, all that good stuff, so you can tire them out in there. Hanover Street, which then turns into the Mound, which then turns into George IV Bridge. At the end of that, or near the end of that, you've got Chamber Street, and on one side of Chamber Street you've got the Scottish National Museum, which is this building here. So definitely, again, free to go in, just walk around, see what you think of the place, free to go in. And again, a bit like the other Scottish museums, the way to get in isn't actually through the front door. No, that's been closed up. So you get in through one of the underground doors or from the side door where I went in the first time. In here you've got everything from Formula 1 cars to old stones. You can also get the elevator to the top of the place where you can get a cool view over everyone at the bottom, but you can also go up a couple more stairs and get a view from the roof. And up here you get another stonking view of Edinburgh from the skyline. A little bit closer in, again, seeing Edinburgh Castle, and just loads of cool stuff. And in the main hall of the Scottish Museum you've got this awesome looking building, which again, all the cool stuff is off this like side rooms of this. You've got dinosaurs, you've got science stuff, but generally just it's really cool just to hang out in a place like this. This is definitely a photo opportunity position. This side, looking at that. Very cool. And without doubt, whenever you're on George IV Bridge, you've got to, at night time, you've got to go to Frankenstein's world famous pub. It says it's world famous, it must be world famous. But it's very cool inside. Go there at midnight, you'll understand. Now this main road behind me is a mile long, actually a little bit longer, it's a 1 1/8. And it goes right down to Parliament and it goes all the way up to the Edinburgh Castle. It's known as the Royal Mile, or just as the High Street. Near the top of the Royal Mile you've got this monster of a cathedral. It's St Giles Cathedral. Huge, and again free just to walk in, have a little look around, see what you think of the place. They like donations, like the other places. But yeah, very cool, definitely worth going in and having a look. Check it out, it's huge. Now this place says if you want to take photos they ask for a £2 photo permit. So just pay that and take some photos inside, because it is astonishing. Now the Royal Mile is far more touristy than other high streets, so if you want to get your tartan or your tablet or your whiskey, this is the place to get it. And just opposite the St Giles Cathedral you've got the real Mary King's Close, a great little scary place to go and check out that goes underground and has lots of ghost stories. Also, if you're on the Royal Mile, most times throughout the year you'll see the most pierced lady in the whole entire world. Her name I'll put down below, I can't remember, but she's usually on here, got a stall. And anyway, more St Giles, wow! Now, near the middle of the Royal Mile, you've got a street which links the Royal Mile down to Waverley train station. It's spelt Cockburn Street, but it's pronounced, as a local would say, Coburn Street. So just say, where is Coburn Street, and you'll be fine. If you say Cockburn, you'll get giggles. This street's a very kind of arty street, more alternative stuff. You'll see kind of maybe kinky shops and maybe smoking shops, and at the same time art galleries and photography galleries. So cool place to have a little wander around, get some culture. So Hanover Street becomes the Mound, which is a bit of a hill that you've got to walk up. But if you do walk up, you get a cool view of Scotland's old Parliament and also a nice view over to the castle as well. and a great view over Princes Street, the kind of main shopping road. So although it used to be the old Scottish Parliament, it's now a University of Edinburgh campus, and during the summertime, during the festival time, there's loads of comedy and things going on in there. It's quite a cool place to check out because it's pretty cool. Near the top of the Royal Mile, before you get to the castle, there's another cool exhibit place to go and check out. It's called Camera Obscura. You can go all the way to the top of it, but you have to pay. For adults it's around about £12, for children it's around about £7 or £8. The ticket lasts all day, and there's a thing when you go to the top of that building, you get this cool view all over Edinburgh. And because it's a ticket that lasts all day, you can go for lunch and then you can go back later on. They say it takes about 2 hours to go around. Just across from Camera Obscura, you've got the Scottish Whisky Experience Tour. Go in there, it's pretty cool. It costs, there's 3 different packages that you can do when you're in there. There's like silver, gold or platinum. The silver is like, again, same prices as everywhere. It's around about £12 for an adult, £8 for a kid. However, if you go for the gold or something else, it's more expensive, it's about £20 and gets more expensive, and you get more tastes of whiskey when you're in there. So you could go in there sober and come out drunk. And of course, you've got Edinburgh Castle to go and check out. Doesn't look like your normal average castle you might see on the side of a cliff, but it is a monster. It's where the Queen would go, or the royal family would definitely go, and it's got lots of cool stuff inside. The prices are, hold on, about £15 for an adult and £9 for a child. However, the cool thing is you can actually just go into the first part of it, the first kind of courtyard, and have a little wander around. The courtyard in front of Edinburgh Castle is actually another cool place. During the festival time, this has got a massive stadium going on, and you can't really do much apart from see the Edinburgh Tattoo and other concerts and stuff that goes on here. However, you do get another great view over to Arthur's Seat over there, and again, just a cool view over the south side of Edinburgh. And just down from the Esplanade part of the castle there, you get a great view of the side of the castle, but also the volcanic rock which it's actually built on. It's really cool. And if you're really bursting for the toilet after all this travelling or all this trekking, there are public toilets just down from the castle, just on the little street down here, down Castle Wind North. Very nice but not cheap restaurant to check out just down from the castle is one called The Witchery. There you go. Which has a couple different parts in it. There's that bit in there and there's another bit at the front. So check out which bit you want to go into, and also check out the prices before you go in, because they're expensive but the food is good. Also, if you're into your books, there's the Writers' Museum, which is just off the Royal Mile near the top. The street which connects the Royal Mile to the Grass Market is a very sweet little street called Victoria Street. And here, kind of cool little restaurants, well, not so much restaurants, places to get meat. There's a thing called the Whole Hog, which is just a giant pig in the window. More whiskey shops and kind of more boutique-y kind of shops. So have a little check down here, it's quite cute. Nowadays the Grass Market is almost totally pedestrianised. Well, it is during the day. So it's a great place to come along, especially during the summer, sit outside the pubs. Loads of pubs, this is a great place for pubs. Loads of pubs, little restaurants to go sit outside and enjoy the sunshine and warmth during the summertime if it's not raining. But lots of cool old-fashioned Scottish pubs like Biddy Mulligan's and Maggie Dixon's Bar. Definitely good places to check out. Off the Cowgate you've got another cool pub called the Three Sisters. Great during the summertime, during festival time, and also whenever there's any kind of rugby match or football match going on. They usually have a big screen going on, big music, cool place to check out. And that really is just the start of some of the things that you can do in Edinburgh, because this didn't even include any of the nighttime ghost walks or tours. Didn't even touch on anything that happens during the Fringe. I didn't even mention the Fudge Kitchen, oh, the best in the world. Nor did I tell you about the Scottish Storytelling Centre, also on the Royal Mile. Also didn't mention the City Arts Centre, again, free to go in. Didn't mention any of the city's nightclubs or karaoke places, or the Edinburgh Dungeon. And if you're needing a map at any point, just down from the castle, you can get them from vending machines.